Right, our first guest of the day is Dave Petersen from Citygate North. And the reason he's in here is that coming up on Saturday, the 8th of November, is Hull's, incredibly, this is the first time anything like this has ever been done in Hull, a property trade show. To tell us more about it, it's Dave. Morning, Dave. How are you doing?
Morning, Pete. Very well, mate. Yourself?
Not too bad. So if you can give us a bit of background for yourself and how you got into the property game.
Yeah. Certainly. Rugby was a huge part of my life, starting from a young kid. I should proudly say, I was black and white, West Hill kid, growing up, just wanting to play. And I just really seen that as the only option. And I think that's, quite apparent in Hull. We look to sport for that form of relief, and go get it attitude. Property just became a thing. I kind of seen it from a distance. People that I knew and respected was doing property. And I just wanted to make sure that I had a job or, something for life after rugby. So,
was that the impetus when you were coming to the end of your rugby career and you thought, well, what the heck am I going to do next? And you looked at property. What made you go down that particular avenue?
To be truly honest, I was fed up of painting walls, and that was for, like I say, probably a mentor that I had. I was helping him be successful in property, and then I was like, I can do this, and that's always been my attitude. I just give it a crack, get on with it, and go for it. So I had an opportunity, and I just took it. So I invested in a couple of properties. Then went on to purchase an estate agency.
Mm-hmm. And then obviously you went on to form Citygate North as well, which encourages inward investment into the property landscape within Hull. How would you describe the whole property landscape at the moment?
Look, Hull's very good. It's very good for investing for multiple reasons. The barrier of entry is low compared to the national average. No, the regeneration that's going on in this city is just really taking it to the next level. There's continuous growth on property. So creating that capital appreciation that people want. And that's why property is a solid investment. It continues to go up in value. Yes, we hit dips, but that's going to happen in anything. So yeah, it's really good. It's buoyant, and it's staying that way because of the amount of investment we have in this city.
I mean, the average punter listening to this at the moment is going to think, well, that's all well and good, but how would he get in it? They're going to be thinking you need a lot of money to get into the investment market, the property investment market. Is that the case, or is that a bit of an urban myth?
I think it is a myth. I guess what it is, it's knowledge. And what I always say is, in the back of everybody's head is property. I think we're taught to go through school, get educated, buy a house, and that's just generally the method. Pay that mortgage off. But actually, what people don't know is you can use your own home to leverage, then to go and buy another property. And I think that's what it's about. That's what I enjoy is assisting people to enter the property market, the investment scene, retirement plans, and things like that. Property can really assist in that. So that's what I do. I break it down and assist people to the knowledge to enter the market.
Hull has been for a good number of years a low-income area. Mm-hmm. The housing cost, the cost of housing and property is incredibly low when you compare it to other areas. I recently was across in Dublin, in County Wicklow, which is just outside Dublin, where the prices are just insanely stupid.
Yep.
And what have you. And I was sat next to a friend of my wife's who was an estate agent.
Yep. And
I played a game with her. It said these houses are for sale in Hull, and the surrounding areas. Yeah. And I picked one in Swanland, one on Alness Road, a 3-bedroom terraced house. And,
I can see where this is going. Yeah,
and a two-bedroom house on Mersey Street,
yep.
Right, on Alness Road, off Alness Road, a mile and a half from the city centre. And I just said, if these were in Dublin or on the outskirts of Dublin, how much would they be?
Yeah.
And for a 3-bedroomed house, I think it was about 165,000 in Hull.
Yep.
But in and around Dublin or on the outskirts of Dublin, you're talking anywhere between 500 and 750,000 euros. Yep. And she could not believe the prices.
Yep.
The property in Hull, she failed to comprehend how cheap it was.
Yeah, and I think that leads on to it, Pete. Is it's rather frustrating that yes, we have these properties, but people look at that with a negative attitude. Yeah. They see Hull as being so super cheap, and that's generally what's coming out of people's mouth, and that's across the UK. So that could be in the likes of Leeds, Manchester, London. They talk about Hull saying it's super cheap there, all right, and not understanding, what's actually happening on the ground. Yes, the barrier of entry is a lot cheaper to get in. So people from down south or, in other cities where generally cash is flowing, and I say that politely, they can come here and, purchase a house for anywhere from 20 grand to 30 using mortgages. And then, it's difficult for the people here to get that up because they're in rental properties and the rental prices are, continuing to increase. And again, that's because outsiders are buying these properties, before people locally can get them. And I think that's, one thing we'd certainly love to stop. It's never going to stop, and we need to continue to invest here. And I take a phrase from somebody locally. They say, "Let's keep the pound local," and I do want to strive to do that.
I've heard that somewhere before.
Yeah.
I think it's somewhere that we might be involved.
You might be saying it often.
I blame the spaceman Neil Armstrong for that at Infinity Club, but there you are.
But I'd love that to be the case. I really would.
I think it all feeds into this keeping the pound local narrative, and it's circulating money within the local economy. Yep. So this obviously led to the property trade show at Princes Quay on the 8th of November, which goes on from about 9 a.m. And it's an all-day event. We're involved in it in some capacity. We're gonna broadcast live from it for a few hours because we have football duties in the afternoon. Yeah. But what led you to put on a property trade show at Princes Quay? And I've seen you've already got a huge and significant number of exhibitors, and there you have actually generated quite a bit of interest in it because I can't think of. I can't think of another property trade show of this nature where you've got guest speakers and so forth to try and generate inward investment into the city. I cannot think of anything like this happening before in the city.
No, the principles around it was network, learn, and then obviously invest. Yeah. It was born out of the frustration of people just having that negative, vision of Hull. Being cheap, come invest here, and I've helped people, that have messed up in property. So they've bought a cheap house, not knowing where, and I think that was, really the first frustration to say, look, I can help these people before they mess up, and wouldn't that be better? And again, we have great people on the ground, and that's working in all disciplines of the property sector, from leading solicitors, architects as well. And then obviously the estate agents that are actually doing the doing, looking after these properties. So it was about getting them in the room so people can come, talk to them, and then we can assist people to invest properly into our city. And that's something I'm really passionate about. And I want to showcase the people that are doing that already. And there is some very successful businesses here, not naming them, but they're doing a lot of hard work here. So I want to get more people in the room like that. Let's celebrate Hull, in a real positive light. And we're obviously getting people there to come and invest properly here.
So it is free to get in this event, Dave. Am I right in thinking that?
No,
yeah?
it is a ticketed event,
Yeah.
and that leads me on. Ticketed event because you're coming to see some of the best people in the city that are working, but also we've lined up 5 headline speakers, and I think that is the real pull and attraction. They are going to give you some knowledge of how to do it, why to do it, and I think that's really important. So yeah, the tickets are currently on sale.
How much are they?
£20.
£20.
Yeah, early bird ticket. There is a 2-for-1 offer on there at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So
is it where do they get the tickets? Where do people get the tickets from?
Our website, hullpropertytradeshow.co.uk.
Yeah.
We have got Eventbrite as well. Yeah. So
this event is open, I assume, to people, general members of the public that may be interested in getting into the property investment game, and also people with a modicum of experience within it, to try and broaden that experience.
Yeah, exactly, because some people they're not running a property business per se. They may have 1, 2 or 3. We want to then develop that portfolio to 5, 10 plus, and then somebody with that little niggle saying can I invest in property, how do I, then come down, listen to some really leading experts on the stage, and then just interact and network with people that are actually doing it.
What is your ultimate aim of the property trade show? Just to recap, Dave, the ultimate aim. What is it that you want to get out of it for the people and prospective investors in the city?
Yeah, I want people to speak about Hull in a better light. Not just that's a cheap place to go and invest. We want them talking about why they're investing here. The regeneration that this city's got, and what's happening. So that certainly, and if we can assist people locally to invest in property, then again it comes back to that. Let's keep that local pound really.
Right, Dave, it's been a pleasure talking to you this morning on 107 FM. That's the Hull Property Trade Show, the first of its kind in the city, on Saturday, the 8th of November from 9 a.m. Tickets are on sale, as Dave said, 20 quid early bird tickets. Lots and lots of influential exhibitors there. So if you ever thought of going into the property game, want more advice, if you're already in it and at the start of your investment portfolio or career, this will be the place to be at Princes Quay on Saturday the 8th of November. Dave, thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you very much.